When you were 17, you realised, okay, I have depression.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew I couldn't find any joy in anything. And, well, I think a big part of it was that my main part of my identity, which was my athletics, was taken and I couldn't do it anymore. And all my self-worth was tied up in winning races. So when I stopped being able to win races because my body was so broken, it was like, well, who are you? What's your contribution to anything? You're not a star athlete anymore. I stuffed up year 12 because I was training too much and just couldn't get to classes. And I just really never thought that I'd have to think about another career.
Yeah, right.
I didn't really do
so
anything.
at that time, did you know you were depressed, or do you look back and go, that's...
Oh, I went to my doctor who, like, I've had my whole life, and he mentioned it.
Yeah,
I just
right.
said to him, well, I don't really want to acknowledge that.
Yeah,
I
right.
just think I'm a bit sad. I don't know that I'm that. Also, it runs very heavily in my family, depression and mental illness. Of course it does. But looking back, for sure, I wonder if I had have actually gone to counselling and been medicated, I wonder how the rest of my life would have turned out.
Right. Because you got postnatal depression after your second daughter. Did you know that's what was going on at that point?
No.
So did you do anything for it?
Yeah. Well, I had to. And again, that was because of Scotty. I was doing breakfast radio, and 6 weeks after my Caesar, I had to go back on air.
Yeah, right.
So I still had the stitches in, and I was still, getting over the stomach surgery, and I was breastfeeding her on air, and I had Marcella as well, trying to do all of that. And I was horrible to my co-host Whipper at the time. I was a person on air, so I put on an act on air, and then off air I just fell into a hole. I didn't contribute. I didn't want to be there. I resented everything. I was sad all the time. And then one morning, I said to Scotty, I can't get up. I don't want to get up. Odie was crying. I didn't care.
Yeah, right.
I didn't want to insert myself in my life on that day. And
did you feel disconnected from your baby at that point?
I felt disconnected from Odie the moment I brought her home.
Right.
But I didn't really. I hid it. I've become really adept at hiding who I really am because I've always thought who that person is not really for public consumption.
Right.
There's so many different versions of me, and I don't at that point in time. I didn't know who the original me was, so that was awful. But I went to the doctor and I just said, there's something wrong with me. I'm not sleeping. That was why I went in the end. I just said, I became obsessed. If I can get enough sleep, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And she said, I explained all my symptoms. I'm irritable. I don't care about the baby. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to get out of bed. All these, looking back, it's like I've 100% aced having depression. I've overachieved with depression.
Yeah.
You cannot be any more depressed than me. Well done. And I got there and she's like, well, you've got postnatal depression. And I said to the doctor, who's done 1,000 years of medical training, no, I don't. She's like, yes, you do. I said, how do you know? And she's like, I'm a doctor. And I said, really? And then I was like, oh, God. And then, of course, they're going to come and lock me up. And there's going to be straitjackets involved. It's going to get into the press. They're going to take my kids off me. All these things. So I walked out of there. But I said to her, okay, so what do I do? So she was great. Action plan. I got a psychiatrist, a psychologist. I got medication. I started going to Reiki. And I got locked up for a little bit.
What do you mean?
In a ratings break.
What do you mean you got locked up?
I got off there on the Friday and we had a week off. And I went into a hospital, like a mental health hospital for a few days.
Thank God you did that though.
And then went back on air. Oh, that's so crazy. If you're off air too long, some bitch will take your job.
Yeah, and they do. It happens. But so what happened in the hospital? How old was your baby at that point?
She was 8 months.
Yeah, right. So it lasted quite a while then.
Well, I didn't really, that year I gave birth to her, we bought the house and we got married. So it was a big year.
Yeah.
So I just thought.
And you were away from home too.
Perth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon it took me a year to get over it.